aftermath of war as both sides prepare for tomorrow's truce talks. Kuwait in ruins. Its citizens cope with the devastation. And the American flag flies again over the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait City.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting tonight from cold and windswept Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. Good evening. Allied and Iraqi military commanders will hold formal ceasefire talks tomorrow. First priority, getting Iraq to release all prisoners of war. And President Bush said today Saddam Hussein will be held accountable for war atrocities. White House correspondent Wyatt Andrews begins our coverage.
To the president, the success of tomorrow's ceasefire meeting depends on Iraq's willingness to immediately release all prisoners. Mr. Bush was optimistic, but also threatening.
I really believe we will get satisfaction on that, and they know that they must comply, and I believe they will comply. And put it this way, they better comply.
Iraq is believed holding at least 9 American POWs, an unknown number of civilians, and thousands of Kuwaitis apparently rounded up as hostages. What the U.S. was threatening today, at a minimum, was the partial occupation of Iraq until all of the prisoners are released.
We have some considerable leverage in that we right now possess a considerable amount of that country. We have forces in the southern third of the country, and I would assume that the Iraqis would want that part of their country back.
Another source of pressure, no let-up in the drive to prosecute Saddam as a war criminal.
Not hunt him down, but nobody can be absolved from their responsibilities under international law on the war crimes aspect of that.
After sending all those signals to Iraq, Mr. Bush sent a big one to Israel and its Arab neighbors. The administration will spend some hard-won Mideast influence in another effort to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict.
It is in the interest of every country there. It's in the interest of the Arab countries. It's in the interest of Israel. It's in the interest of the Palestinian people. So I sense a feeling, look, the time is right. Let's get something done.
An unusually large crowd was allowed on the White House grounds today to cheer the president on to his weekend retreat at Camp David. And while Mr. Bush lapped up the applause, he told reporters he cannot completely share the nation's euphoria while Saddam still controls some American and Allied lives. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, the White House.
Algeria denied reports today that Saddam Hussein is asking for asylum there. 2 U.S. medics were killed today while out in the field treating Iraqi wounded. They hit a landmine. Luckier were 2 American soldiers who tripped a landmine while fighting in Iraq earlier this week. They survived. In all, the number of U.S. combat dead since the war began rose officially today to 89. Military officials now say the deployment of U.S. forces back home will come sooner rather than later. Some frontline Marine units and possibly some Army airborne have already begun pulling back to Saudi Arabia. They leave plenty of evidence behind of the battle on the road to Kuwait City. Peter Van Sant traveled the highway to war.
Ring Road number 4, leading into Kuwait City, is now a highway of destruction. A surreal scene, a roadway of shattered Iraqi armor and men. Here lies the remains of Saddam Hussein's military disaster. Nightmarish and macabre images line the roadway. Dead Iraqi soldiers killed in an air attack.
Everywhere along this highway there is evidence of the panic of the retreating Iraqi army. Many tanks were simply abandoned as soldiers fled the city.
This morning, Kuwaitis began venturing back on this road, driving through the maze of Iraq's military humiliation. Some came to see the wreckage. Many more were drawn to the dead soldiers, experiencing a satisfaction of seeing their tormentors' demise.
I think they got what they deserve. You mentioned to me they were animal, but they were not animal. This is an insult to think that they are animal. They are something I cannot explain, not a human being.
Ring Road number 4 is still a dangerous place. Live explosives litter the highway. Loaded artillery pieces are still aimed at Kuwait City. Off the road, oil tanks at one of the vital desalinization plants burn out of control. As we drove on, there was another jam of vehicles, thousands of Kuwaitis lining up for gasoline.